Hello, everyone. I hope you are in good health. First and foremost, I would like to thank the EAP for giving me this marvelous opportunity and a platform to present my paper. I'm Dr. Alisha Akhani, currently working as an intern at Shri Krishna Hospital, Karamsad Anand, located in the state of Gujarat, India. The title of my paper is Risk Factors of Sepsis and Prevalence of Multi-Drug Resistant Organism in Pediatric Cardiac Surgery in a rural tertiary care teaching hospital in India. My co-authors were Mr. Sohil Khan, who is a researcher, medical researcher, and Dr. Amit Kumar, who is a pediatric cardiologist at the same. We have nothing to disclose. Yes, coming to the background. Every year in India, approximately more than 200,000 children are born with congenital heart disease, and the birth prevalence of CHD is 9 per 1,000 births. Many of these children require an intervention in the form of cardiac surgery or a medical procedure. Cardiothoracic surgery, along with CPB, that is cardiopulmonary bypass, induces a complex humoral and cell-mediated immune response, which results in a transient state of immunosuppression, often referred to as immunoparalysis. This state of immunoparalysis may result in an increased risk of sepsis in children undergoing cardiac surgery. Sepsis is a leading cause of morbidity and mortality in children with CHD. For adults, the risk factors for sepsis has been established. A lot of research has been done, but there are very few case series which focuses on the sepsis prevalence in pediatric cardiac surgical patients, especially from India. And none of these papers have highlighted the lurking threat of increasing prevalence of multi-drug resistant organisms. When we identify the risk factors for sepsis, we can appropriately manage these patients, we can reduce the treatment costs, and also reduce the morbidity and mortality of the patients. Hence, our objective was to determine first the risk factors of sepsis in pediatric cardiac surgical patients and the subsequent prevalence of multi-drug resistant organisms in their cultures. This was a retrospective single-centered observational study, which was conducted at our PICU in Karamsad, Gujarat, India, over a period of 1 year. All right, coming to the study design, we included patients less than or equal to 14 years of age and older patients discharged against medical advice, transferred to another facility. Those who underwent non-cardiac surgery or those with pre-hospital infection were excluded from the study. Data like demographic details, weight, height, anomalies, past history, surgical data, and hematological data was collected, and statistical analysis was done on the same. Now, to look for associated factors for sepsis, broadly, we took data under 3 main categories. That was preoperative sepsis screen, surgical data, and hematological data. For our paper, we had 2 working definitions. First was proven sepsis, which was defined according to the 2005 International Pediatric Sepsis Definition Consensus Conference. And second was clinical sepsis, that was defined for those patients having clinical and laboratory features of sepsis, but without positive blood cultures. Coming to results, 103 patients underwent cardiac surgery during the year, out of which 3 were excluded. So the total number of patients in our study were 100, out of which 55 were males and 45 were females, with the mean age of 2.39 years. Please have a look at table number 1, which shows the infection and mortality rate. 8 out of 100 children had proven sepsis, while 19 out of 100 had clinical sepsis, which came to a total of 27. 73 patients out of 100 had no infection. The overall mortality in our study group was 2, while mortality due to sepsis was only seen in 1 patient who died due to ARDS, or acute respiratory distress syndrome. In our study, N equal to 27, which was the septic patients, we found no case of mediastinitis or endocarditis. There were 6 patients who had sternal wound gaping. Although the swab cultures from these patients were sterile, and later improved on antibiotics. Among the types of surgery, VSD, that is ventricular septal defect closure surgery, had higher prevalence of sepsis. 14 patients underwent VSD closure, 4 of them had sepsis. On bivariate analysis, we found 7 factors with significant p-value of less than 0.05. They were age, weight, surgery duration, length of ICU stay, duration of intubation, duration of central venous catheterization, and delayed sternal closure. But on multivariate logistic regression analysis, we found prolonged duration of ICU stay for more than 5 days to be an independent risk factor for sepsis. All right, here is the result for the microorganisms isolated from the blood cultures. 5 out of 8 blood cultures were MDRO, that is multi-drug resistant organisms, and they were sensitive to last line of antibacterials like colistin, tigecycline, and linezolid. In a nutshell, in our study, the prevalence of sepsis was 27%, with 1% mortality due to the same. 6% of patients had surgical site infection, and there was no incidence of mediastinitis or endocarditis. This is a table showing comparison between our findings and 5 other papers. As you can see, the rate of sepsis was comparable with other papers. The range varied somewhere from 2.8% to as high as 35%. Mortality, again, the range was from 1% to 22.2%. Coming to SSI, the range was from 1% to 25.9%, while we reported a range of 6%. Many studies found different risk factors. For our studies, the only significant risk factor was ICU stay for more than 5 days. Other studies found age, previous cardiac operation, preoperative stay for more than 1 day, CPB for more than 90 minutes, underlying disease, inotropic support with epinephrine, age more than 6 months, PICU stay for more than 48 hours, mechanical ventilation, dopamine use, genetic abnormality. All of these were significant factors. Again, this is another table which compared the microorganisms causing sepsis from our study with the microorganisms which cause sepsis from another study. You can see that the percentage of MDRO was very high, which was 62.5%, and was comparable with another study carried out by Mona Halim et al. In Egypt, which reported the MDRO of 66.7%. Right. There are various intrinsic factors such as poor immunity and the severity of illness, and extrinsic factors such as poor healthcare setting, which predisposes these children to have infection. Plus, the indiscriminate use of antibiotics have gravely increased the incidence of infection with an MDRO. The rate of gram-negative MDRO in PICU increased significantly between 2007 and 2012, and by 2012, the ceftriaxone prescribed in PICU had decreased while carbapenem was increased by 80%. The alarming finding of our study, as I said previously, was the very high prevalence of MDRO, which was 5 out of 8 cultures. Despite the high prevalence of MDRO, the mortality rate due to sepsis was only 1%. However, it may worsen if we lose sensitivity to this last line of antibiotics. This scenario is unacceptable in pediatric cardiac patients who may encounter precarious hemodynamics due to cardiac surgery. Yes, with the advent of new technology, with better care, the mortality rates of pediatric cardiac surgical patients have remarkably improved. But multi-drug resistant bacteria pose an imminent threat to our patients. These new and upcoming infections not only lead to high mortality and morbidity, but also contribute to increased cost of care because we have to give newer broad spectrum antibiotics. Hospital infection prevention and control programs come into play. They play an integral role in identifying, monitoring, and minimizing such infections. Enforcement of stringent antiseptic measures in pediatric cardiac departments is imperative in combating sepsis and other infections. There are a number of obstacles to pediatric cardiac care in India. This paper and this research is one small step in the right direction. Our study has some limitations. It was a retrospective study, so some data discrepancy cannot be ruled out, although care has been taken by us to minimize it. Many other risk factors were not statistically significant in our study, as we saw earlier, because our group was not sufficiently powered in the study population. As it is a single center study, its results cannot be generalized for the entire pediatric cardiac surgery department. We didn't match the data with the various commensals routinely found in the PICU or the antibiogram of the PICU. So those were that. The future prospects of this study include finding out, routinely carrying out the antibiogram of ICUs, and also the antibiotic prophylaxis perioperatively and post-operatively has to be taken care of. The references, and thank you and dhanyavad for this opportunity. And I would like to take a moment to thank all the frontline workers and COVID warriors for working day and night. Thank you.